There was a time when road travel was a luxury. And in Mexico, that luxury had a name: Sultana Super Panoramic. A bus so majestic, it seemed more like a palace on wheels than a vehicle. It was the first Latin American bi-truck, a work of engineering ahead of its time that dazzled an entire continent. But behind its brilliance, there also lay a story of ambition, risk, and downfall. How did such an advanced machine disappear from Mexican roads? Today you'll learn the story of the Sultana, the giant that sought to touch the peak of transportation and ended in oblivion, the birth of a legend of the asphalt. In the vast history of Latin American transportation, few vehicles have left as profound a mark as the Sultana Super Panoramic, the mythical bus manufactured in Mexico that defined an era with its double-decker design, imposing presence, and engineering ahead of its time. This giant on wheels, with its two-level floor and roof, four-axle chassis, and an elegance brimming with personality, not only became a symbol of modernity, but also an icon of luxury transportation throughout South America. During the 50s and 60s, the development of modern buses in Latin America was just beginning. Investments were modest, designs basic, and comfort was not yet a priority. However, in this setting, a Mexican giant emerged that broke all known molds. The Sultana Super Panoramic reached what was then considered the pinnacle of sophistication. 4 axles, 12 wheels, a 10-speed gearbox, and a powerful Detroit diesel V8 two-stroke engine with over 300 horsepower. On board, passengers enjoyed air conditioning, a restroom, and luxury seats, details that were then a privilege reserved for the few. The Sultana was not just a means of transport, but a statement of style, power, and technological advancement in a continent just beginning to dream of modernity. The international context. The North American momentum. While Latin America was taking its first steps in the manufacturing of large-scale buses, the story was different in North America. Since the 1940s, the United States already had highly developed intercity transportation systems. The legendary company Greyhound Lines, founded in 1914, had built an empire with hundreds of routes and a constantly expanding fleet. Greyhound's growth demanded innovation, and to meet that need, the company established a strategic alliance with General Motors, one of the most powerful industries in the world. From that union emerged revolutionary models like the Silverside, produced in 1940, famous for its stainless steel body. Those designs not only set trends in the United States, but were replicated in other countries, inspiring manufacturers across the Americas. 30 units of the Silverside arrived in Brazil in 1954, imported by the company Viação Cometa. This importation marked the beginning of a history of collaboration that would boost the Brazilian bus body industry, especially through the partnership with Ciferol and later with the CMA brand. But that same year, 1954, would also witness the birth of another giant, the GMPD 4501 Cinecruiser, a model that would forever change the concept of long-distance passenger transport. The Cinecruiser, the inspiration that crossed borders. The Cinecruiser, manufactured by General Motors for Greyhound, was a bus ahead of its time. Its most distinctive feature was the two-level design, with the front lower and the rear higher, allowing passengers a panoramic view. It featured a large rear window and a small roof elevation, designed to offer an unparalleled visual experience during the journey. This model became the most famous two-level bus in the world, although its concept was not entirely new. In Europe, there were already vehicles with similar bodies, known as observation coaches, a term derived from train cars that included higher windows to appreciate the scenery. However, the Cine Cruiser took this idea to its fullest expression, combining comfort, luxury, and futuristic aesthetics. Its success inspired manufacturers across the continent. Companies like Western Flyer, CD Black Company, and Flexbull developed models influenced by its design. Even the flexible VLCN, imported to Brazil by Expresso Brasileiro, was a direct response to the Cine Cruiser's fame and ended up inspiring the creation of the first panoramic buses manufactured by Brazilian company Nilsson. It was precisely this chain of inspiration that paved the way for the birth of the Mexican Sultana, a masterpiece that synthesized the best of North American technology with the creative vision of the Latin American industry. The Mexican origin, the birth of the Sultana. The Sultana was born from Grupo Industrial Ramirez, the first major Mexican automotive company founded in 1946. In a short time, this company, initially known as Trailers de Monterrey, established itself as a benchmark in truck production under the Ramirez brand and buses under the Sultana name. The name Sultana honored the city of Monterrey in Nuevo León, also known as the Sultan of the North. From its early years, the brand stood out for its commitment to creating durable, elegant, and modern vehicles. In the mid-1950s, the factory introduced its first standout model, the Sultana Super Imperial TM37, with a design inspired by American General Motors buses. In 1959, the company took an even greater leap by presenting the first panoramic buses with two-level floors and roofs. These models featured 3 axles, one hidden at the rear, though it was later made visible with the TM4115 model, which displayed the exposed wheel arch. These designs began to capture attention across the continent, but the best was yet to come: the birth of the Sultana Super Panoramic. In 1963, the world witnessed the arrival of the brand's most ambitious model, the Sultana TM 4016 SP, where SP stood for Super Panoramic. This monumental bus featured 4 axles, 12 wheels, and 40 luxury seats, along with all the imaginable comforts of the time: restroom, air conditioning, and the option to include a kitchen or reading lounge for long-distance trips. The heart of the vehicle was a Detroit Diesel Vi 8 Model 8V71N engine, a 9-liter 2-stroke engine with 3 cubic decimeters, reaching over 300 horsepower. Combined with a Fuller Road Ranger RTN 910 10-speed transmission, the setup offered a smooth and powerful driving experience. Another fascinating detail was the dual-wheel system on the rear axles, which enhanced the bus's stability and safety, making it ideal for long and mountainous routes. The rise of luxury on wheels. During the 1960s and 70s, the Sultana Super Panoramic became synonymous with prestige. Several Mexican companies adopted it as their flagship model, leveraging its modern and majestic image in advertising campaigns that presented it as the pinnacle of comfort on wheel. The bus was commonly seen on the Mexico City to Acapulco route, a journey of approximately 10 hours. Its presence was a spectacle in itself, a symbol of power and elegance rolling along the country's highways. There are even records of a Sultana Super Panoramic operating an international line to São Paulo, Brazil, under the Expresso Brasileiro company, thus solidifying its continental fame. However, the boom would not last forever. The end of an era. At the beginning of the 80s, Mexico faced a severe economic crisis that affected all industries, including the automotive sector. In 1982, the Sultana Super Panoramico was discontinued. The production of buses and trucks became monopolized by large companies such as DINA and Mexicana de Autobuses S.A., which engaged in unfair competition practices. This led Sultana to suspend its operations and temporarily close its factories. Despite this, the brand eventually resurfaced, launching contemporary models that kept its essence and historical legacy alive. Today, the Sultana Super Panoramico is considered a collector's gem, a tangible reminder of the golden age of road transportation in Latin America. Its innovative design, power, and visionary spirit made it an immortal symbol of Mexican ingenuity and passion for automotive excellence. This historical account captures the essence of the Sultana Super Panoramico, a machine that combined technology, art, and identity, and 50 years later continues to be remembered as one of the greatest legends of Latin American asphalt. If you liked this video and are passionate about Amish culture, you'll surely love this other one. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss any videos from the largest Amish community on YouTube.